What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Hardworking Happy Hour. I'm Sean.
And I'm Catherine, and as always, we'll be breaking down all things trades, entrepreneurship, and turning your creativity into a passion career. Sean Collinsgrew, how are you doing, my friend?
Oh,
my colleague?
I'm doing really
my
good.
Dog?
Yo, what's up, sis? What's happening, sis?
Oh, gosh, not much. What a week.
Is...
I've barely even seen you.
Oh, it's been amazing. It's been so good. I was wondering, I couldn't put my finger on what made this week so nice and peaceful.
Yeah.
I've found it. That's
I
what
bet
it was.
Nice. Yeah.
That's what it was. So, yeah, what's going on? How you doing? You were actually at the job site today. I guess we'll get into why you weren't on the job site and, you know, what we're doing, what we're working on. What's the next big move? What's the next big move? Big picture stuff, you know? Stuff that moves the needle.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. We're in a season of change here at Premier Outdoor Living. And
we are.
Well, I can't even remember if we talked about it, but when we were at IBS,
yes,
everyone kept saying, "Oh, what do you do?" to me. My answer: a little bit of everything. Because that's the truth. I do a little bit of everything. I'm the copywriter.
Yeah.
I'm the photo editor. I'm the social media manager. I'm the client inquiry manager. I do a little bit of everything.
It's true. It's true.
So, we're kind of refining my role a little bit, and part of it has been working from home, which is new and exciting.
I'm laughing because, it always plays out almost exactly the same. It's, you know, people always ask, well, what exactly is your role? And you're like, well, a little bit of everything. And then I hit them with tell them your job title. And then you hit them with Director of Global Expansion. And it has a whole lot of vagaries.
Yeah.
Vagaries.
I think, but I did hear one at IBS that I like even better than my title, which is, or what was it? Chief Officer of Operational Excellence.
Who was that?
It was somebody at UFP. I can't remember who it was, but I just remember hearing that, and I was like, I feel like that better describes what I do. I'm striving for operational excellence.
Yeah.
That more describes to me what I do than Director of Global Expansion, which is just vague and nonsensical, which I love. But
it gets a laugh usually. It usually gets a laugh.
Yeah,
it's more of like a joke, if anything. Yeah. I was, hey, tell them what you do. Tell them what that, people are going to love that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's the benefit of just being able to make up your own title. It can be whatever.
Absolutely.
It can be not only can you make it up, it can just be whatever you want it to be.
Absolutely.
Like it can mean whatever you want it to be.
You don't even have to do anything at work anymore. You just make up a title. Exactly. But no, we are going through so much change around here. One of the things that I guess we put our finger on is sometimes maybe I can be a little distracting. Sometimes there's not a whole lot of internet for you to get a lot of shit done that you need to. So really just like laying out our objectives, and then you're better suited to do some of that stuff from home where you can just kind of lock in. I think, and we kind of talked about how I've like thrown a whole bunch of stuff on you at times, especially if you're there on site. It's just like I'll unload all kinds of stuff onto you and just bring you into my world of chaos. And you're best suited to be able to lock in and do some deep work. Deep work. And deep work is almost impossible. I was going to say on site, but that's not even it. It's just near me.
I will agree with that, yeah.
Steve's really good at it. Steve can just completely
He's pretty good, yeah. He's pretty good at ignoring.
Out,
yeah.
And just lock in. But it's hard to get deep work done when I'm anywhere in the vicinity because I have a little bit of a whirlwind effect around me as I stampede through life. So, we're making adjustments and we're moving forward, and I'm very excited about it. So, how was your first week? You did 4 days at home. We're in the beginning stages of this, building out some new systems and everything. So, it's kind of heavy at home right now. Tell us about your week at home.
Yeah. It was pretty good. I don't love working from home. I feel like it's a little lonely, and I feel like I like to be there. I like to be in the action. I like to know what's going on, and because I do a little bit of everything, I just feel like I need to know what's going on site. So that was a little stressful, but obviously we were still in constant contact. So I did get some of the briefs, but it is just so much easier because, like you said, can't tune you out necessarily because you are constantly a whirlwind of chaos, as you have mentioned.
Yeah.
But also the internet is just really like we're always subject to the person that we're working for's internet. And sometimes it's great, and sometimes I can do everything I need to do, and sometimes it's awful. And on this job site, it is awful. So it kind of turned into like one day from home, and then it just kind of snowballed because I was actually able to get stuff done. And then I'd come up with like, oh, I should do this, this, and this tomorrow, but I can't do that without internet tomorrow. So it works out. It's a bit lonely, and while the job site is quite distracting, my home also turns out to be quite distracting. Because my husband also, not that he works out of home, but our home is his home base, I would say. So he's kind of around a little bit. And then I got all these damn pets. They're always around. So I am able to lock in. I just pop in my headphones, and I can really go down my little rabbit holes. But gosh, it's just a self-control exercise.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I love locking in with the headphones. You pop the headphones in. What's your go-to listen? What are you listening to when you're really trying to lock in?
Well, honestly, that's a great question, and I'm grateful that you asked that.
Yes.
Because I do have a lot of thoughts on this. So it depends on what I'm doing, because I was writing a lot for these past couple of days.
Yep.
So I can't listen to music with
words.
So then I listen to like a classical. That helps me focus. Something without words. But also doing things, I've decided that if I listen to music in a language that I don't speak, it also has the same effect. So I don't know if you've heard of an artist called Bad Bunny.
Yes.
Oh, God, I love him. And he does not sing in English most of the time. So pop that in. That's like pump up jam after pump up jam. So I'm getting amped. I'm psyched. Not in English, so I don't even know what they're saying. And that helps a lot.
Huh. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
But usually it has to be some kind of music, because back in my olden days when I would work, I would listen to podcasts. But what I was doing was so just
monotonous.
And I was just so easy to my brain that I could just do it without, I could definitely listen to something while also, but I can't now listen to podcasts while I'm actually trying to get work done, because then I just trail off into thought about what I'm listening to. So
yeah, that makes sense.
No words.
That makes sense.
Or not English.
Okay, I like that.
What do you go?
That's a hot tip.
Yeah,
so most of the time when I am locked in with headphones, I'm designing.
Uh-huh.
And what I like is I like something real vibey. So it's either metal or it's rap.
Okay.
Something with some moving beat to it, so I can really kind of bounce around. Remember when we were going to IBS, and I was on the plane, and I had my notebook like this right in front of my face, and I was kind of bopping around.
4 inches away from your face. Yes, I do remember that.
Well, it was kind of dark in there. I didn't want to turn on the light and have cause a whole scene. So, I like to have that vibey music going.
That's very interesting, because I feel like I could see rap for that, but I feel like metal, that's such a specific vibe.
Just it's aggressive. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what works for me. So one thing I want to talk about is this. We're trying to, I think, refine all of our roles around here. Really, I think one of the main objectives that we need to do is put in parameters and guidelines in place as to what is whose job. Instead of constantly all right, you do this, I want to pitch in, so I want to help a little bit with that, so I'll do this now. Just clearly define roles so that each person knows exactly what tasks are their responsibility, and then we can, like we talked about last week, we can identify things that need to be done that aren't getting done to the proper efficiency right now, and start to define that next role that we need to hire for. So, within that, really you've kind of been in charge of the content and the content strategy, up to this point, but it's always a collaborative effort. So I think one of the big pushes is putting you completely in charge of that whole direction, and you are now able to create your own systems around how we organize everything. And we talked about that a little bit last week. And one of the things I think that's really important that I've kind of come to the revelation of is this idea of going deeper with the audience, with our content, all of this stuff. Everything is so surface level these days. You know, it's a clickbait thing here. It's you know, there's no substance anymore. Mm-hmm. And even when there's this faux substance, it's AI generated, and you can tell. Mm-hmm. You know, so one of the things that we're going to make a push of is like more in-depth commentary on why we did certain things on a project, and also these weekly progress reports that we are going to be posting. It's almost like a faux blog article. I came up with the name Particle because it's like halfway between a post and an article. I think it's cool. I think it's got some legs. I think
little particles. On. Yep, I like it.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on that? Like really, just connecting with people, and that goes for, you know, our audience. It goes for our clients. It goes just like, you know, having something of some substance, something to really just grab onto in this world that is so effervescent.
Interesting choice of word.
I don't think it's the right word, but
no, I don't think so.
You get what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I think everything goes in ebbs and flows, obviously. Thus is life. And I think that social media is going to go the same way. Right now, our attention spans, because of social media, have just reduced themselves to like 0.5 seconds. If something doesn't catch your attention in 0.5 seconds, you're on to the next thing. And our like Reels and TikTok, that's just how our brains are so focused. We're looking for that next little tiny dopamine hit. And I think we're definitely at the tipping point of that, where people are kind of realizing like, oh wow, my brain is mush, and I need to seek out things that are. What are you laughing at?
I'm just thinking about like how it's so hard. Like no one has an attention span anymore, but it's so easy to stare at one object, your phone, for so long. Like what is wrong with us as people?
It's crazy.
Unbelievable.
It's
it really
crazy.
is. It really is.
And I'm so aware of it, but I still fall into that trap all the time. Like when I'm looking at something, I'm like, oh my God, like this is horrible. I've been looking at this. Or the other day I was like waiting in a line, and my brain had like 1 second of wait time, and it needed to fill that boredom immediately with my phone. And I was like, and I was aware of it, and I still did it. But I think that because we're at this like low point, I think that the tide is going to shift, and eventually people are going to be seeking out more in-depth things and looking for more substance rather than just these like little quick hits of instant dopamine, like the clickbait stuff, the practical joke weird little clips, or whatever the little dopamine hit is. I think that people are looking more so for connection. I think we've gotten so isolated, they really want to feel like some sort of connection to a person or a YouTube channel or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that, or maybe it's just me reflecting, but I think that it's going to switch, and we're going to start seeing more of that. So I love this idea of just being, and even, you know, no one's going to see 100% of your content. So even if we're putting all this stuff out there, some people are only going to see 2% of it, but they're still going to get a good idea of what we do and who we are, rather than just some dumb little clickbaity, oh no, he cut his finger off at work, what are we going to do? Kind of dumb clip, you know?
Yeah, because you can only cut off so many fingers for views. You only got 10 of them. But, you know, I think that that is going to be like somewhat of a shift, that people are going to look for, you know, things that they can connect to more, that really feel like that there's some substance behind it, and there's a reason that you're getting something out of it. You're gaining some sort of value. I think that is like I want to put a reinforced emphasis on that moving forward, because, you know, there's just everything is so saturated. It's like, what's the point of somebody reading this? And I don't want to just be throwing more stuff into the void for no reason. Like give it a purpose. And what is our purpose? It's to I've always said, to encourage other people that they can do whatever they set their mind to, because we've been able to build this business, and none of us are really qualified. But we've done it by trying, by believing in ourselves.
We've done it.
But we've done it, and you can do it too. Probably better than us. And that's what we're here to show. So, like, the more that we can pull back the curtain and, like, show that and encourage people to just jump into things, I think the better.
Yeah.
Right? So that's kind of been on our mind. Totally. I do want to take a short little excursion off of our current topic and talk about some really serious things. Very serious things.
Oh, boy.
Number 1, marriage.
It's what brings us together.
What was that?
It's from The Princess Bride. Marriage.
Oh, okay.
It's what brings us together.
Who says that? What?
The priest.
What is that accent?
The priest guy.
What is the accent you're doing?
That's what he talks.
Okay.
Have you ever seen The Princess Bride?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what you're talking about. But
right, we'll watch it and get back to me.
Marriage is what brings us together today.
Okay. It's some sort of accent that you're doing.
People will know. People will get it.
Okay. It can be difficult. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. But I do think that it should be like a God-given right within a marriage to, number 1, be able to snooze.
I never know what you're ever going to say.
The right to snooze,
okay,
I think, should be protected at the highest levels. And the other side of that, I think the right for the other person to be pissed off that you're not getting up should also be protected. I think that's what...
you're both sides.
I'm definitely both sides. I think that I should be able to continue to snooze if I want, if I don't feel like getting up. And I also think it's totally acceptable for you to yell at me and say, you should be getting up. Don't set your alarm just because you told yourself you were gonna get up and work out in the morning.
God, it's a balance, isn't it?
It
Such
really
a balance.
is. It really is.
Are you ever a victim to the snooze? Does the table ever turn, or is it always you doing the snooze and you always getting yelled at?
It's that one, yes. Because if it's somebody else's alarm going off, I won't wake up. I'll sleep right through it.
How's that work?
Like, I just know.
You know your own personal phone alarm?
It's got
I know
a
this
sound
one's
on
coming
it.
from my phone, so...
Yeah. Mine's got a specific sound. Hers has a specific sound. If hers is going off, I'm not listening to it. Yeah, okay. I don't know. It's some sort of innate thing, but it's just a funny dynamic that came up this weekend. I just thought.
I think it's funny that you're both sides. You're like, I understand why you're yelling at me, but I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing.
I think that we need to protect both of those rights, because it's a basic human right to snooze and to also yell at somebody that's excessively snoozing. So just wanted to touch on that a little bit. And the next thing I wanted to tell you about was my journey into hostage tape. You seen this stuff?
What?
Hostage tape. It's tape you put over your mouth to sleep.
Is it a brand called Hostage Tape?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's terrible. I don't care for that. That's the name they went with?
Yeah, because it makes you look like a hostage.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, Sarah did say that she finds men's wellness trends to be so odd, and it kind of is. Have you not seen this? That this is a thing?
I've seen people taping their mouth shut to sleep.
Tapers,
I've never heard it called hostage tape. That seems like
they're like the most branded in the space, I believe. They definitely do the most ads. I'll tell you that much.
That.
So
okay. Sorry, that just reminded me of something I want to talk about. No.
Okay. Hostages.
You keep going.
So it's crazy. I'm just at like an age, I think, where everyone's trying to reinvent themselves or like become more healthy. So all my ads are just always like some sort of new men's wellness thing. And lately it's been a lot about sleeping and this hostage tape stuff. So what are you doing?
We should do a challenge where you do all of the women's like wellness trends that are targeted to me, and I do all the men's wellness challenges that are targeted to you.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Okay, keep going. Sorry.
I've always thought I should be more mindful of my cycle, but anyway, hostage tape. You put it over your mouth, and I put it on, and I'm about to go to sleep with it, and I'm done with it already. I'm already done with it, because Sarah was like, "What are you doing?" And I kind of already had it too, so I was like,
You didn't brief her prior? You just...
Well, no, I did a little bit, but then she continued to talk to me. And then the thing that I thought about that made me say, you know what? This is crazy, and I'm taking this off right now. Imagine, like, that's the most embarrassing way to die. Imagine if I did just go to sleep with this tape on my mouth. I don't wake up. I'm dead. And they're like, how'd he die? He covered up the hole that he breathed out of for wellness.
Yeah.
And when I thought of that, I was just like, you know what? I don't think this is a good idea, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. So I took it off.
I imagine like a house fire situation, and then a firefighter comes in, and they're like, well, this is a criminal investigation. This man has been gagged or whatever.
We've got hostages in here. Just one of them. Yeah,
this lady, this child were completely fine. They got out on their own volition, but this man.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Sarah gets arrested because she looks like she did it to you.
Oh yeah. See, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. So yeah, after thinking about that, just how like ridiculous that would be, like purposefully covering up the main hole that I breathe out of. Mm-hmm. So I've also got a deviated septum situation. Mm-hmm. So breathing out my nose is not great. So.
But isn't that like that's the point of it, right? That's the
point of it. Yeah.
You're supposed to breathe out of your nose.
Exactly. Yeah. But it seals it off pretty good. It's a solid adhesive.
Did you try it? Could you breathe out of your nose?
Yeah, I mean I can breathe out of my nose, yeah.
But like did you go to sleep and then were you like woken up because you couldn't breathe or?
No, it got in my head that would be the most embarrassing way to die, and I said I can't do it. This is too much.
Also, I noticed you have a bit of a mustache. Did it hurt taking the tape off?
Are you just noticing this?
I've just noticed like you have a bit of a mustache.
No, it didn't. It was a quality product. It was very breathable. It was like a breathable type of tape. Like you couldn't breathe through it because my lips were sealed. But it's a nice product. It's definitely a nice product. But it just maybe I'll go back to it. But after I thought of that, I couldn't bring myself to do it. I didn't want to die in that fashion. Like, yeah, this idiot taped his mouth shut, suffocated on purpose.
I wonder if that makes your
on purpose.
If that makes your like morning breath worse or better.
I would say definitely better. I think. I think your breath's always the worst when like you wake up and like your mouth's been open and you're like
and it's all dry and stuff.
Oh, it's all dry and nasty. Yeah, I would think so. So something to think about. Yeah. Anyway, what kind of interesting stuff do you get?
For like women's fitness or wellness trends, the one that's mainly being just like rammed down my throat right now is something called, I think it's called like Primal Queen or something, and it's pill. It's capsules.
You need it. It sounds like you need it.
It's capsules of, I guess, beef organ meat, and it's no, sorry, it's I think it might be beef organs, but also like their reproductive organ. It's reproductive organs specifically.
Yeah.
Encapsulated that you're supposed to eat, and it's
how much cow testicle are you eating currently daily?
Well, a bit.
Okay, all right, good.
Naturally,
Yeah, everyone needs to have some of that. So wait, it's all ground up beef reproductive system organs. I've heard of like beef liver. Like the Liver King guy and eating like, the organ meat.
Organ meat, yeah.
Is like very popular. I don't understand it. Sounds kind of gross, but hey, whatever. I've not been aware of this reproductive.
Yes, I believe. I don't know
meat.
if it's exclusively reproductive organs, but it is definitely. They're definitely in there.
I like the name Primal Queen. That's kind of cool.
Primal Queen, yeah. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Oh God, it's trying to make me beef organ supplement.
This just sounds gross. I bet it's expensive.
Let's see what we got on Amazon here. This is not sponsored by them, by the way.
Oh yeah, but it might be soon. Who knows? For all my Primal Queens out there, how much organ meat are you getting?
It's $53. Oh, it's on sale, 10% off right now on Amazon.
Oh wow!
for 60 capsules.
Okay.
And I feel like that's one of those things where it's like you have to take like a million
10 of them
capsules.
at a time, yeah.
And also the capsules, I would assume that they'd be like a reddish color. They're not. They're white capsules. Like, not like the capsule itself is white, but there's like white powder in there. How do you make those organs? You bleach them?
I don't know. It's probably all ruse. It doesn't make any sense.
All right, it's got kidneys, liver, heart, uterus, ovaries, and fallopian tubes.
This is just like they just got stuff at the discount shelf at the
Well, no, it says they're
slaughterhouse.
hand-picked. It says they're hand-picked, so...
Yeah, off the ground. It's the things that are left over after they've gotten, the tenderloin and the ribeye. You get the... What other use do they have for fallopian tubes after they freaking cut the cow up?
Well, it says they have more zinc than broccoli, so...
This is crazy. That's crazy. Anyway, all right. Well, maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do
Start taking Primal Queen.
yeah, you can tape your mouth shut. And the other thing that I actually didn't like about it, you're walking yourself right into a zing. You and Sarah both said the same exact thing when I said I was gonna do the mouth taping, and you're like, well, why don't you do it during the day too? She said the same exact thing. Oh, only at night. Not funny.
Pretty
Not
funny.
Yeah,
I mean, you really set yourself
and
up
kind
for
of
that.
walked into it. So,
Yeah.
I want to hear what people are doing wellness wise.
What wellness trends you got?
That's working for you, because I'm really interested in it, and I want to be healthier. I want to be healthier. I want to grow.
Have you considered getting a sauna?
Obviously, yes, I have thought about it.
Get one. I bought like a cheapy guy. My God, I love it.
Really? What? All right. So what is it? It's
Love
it. It's what is it? It's a
right
tent,
here.
essentially.
It's a tent, yeah.
It's next to you right now.
It's in the same room. I'm in my attic, and it's over there.
What is it? A tent? It's a tent.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a tent.
Well, yeah. I guess that's what you'd call it. It's a tent. It's like a thick fabric material.
Okay.
That's like waterproofed, I guess, in some way. And it's like a pop-up thing. You go in. It's a little tent.
Okay.
I wanted mine to be like a one-person thing because I didn't want it to take forever to heat up. So it's just like a one-person thing. Yeah. And God, I love it. God,
really?
I love it.
Really?
I love it. Yeah.
How hot does
I genuinely feel like that's like a lot of these like woo-woo things. I'm like, that's just all in your head, and whatever works. To be clear, if it's in your head, but it's still like making you, changing your perspective, then in my mind, have at it's working.
Yeah.
But that I genuinely feel like is working. It makes me sleep like so much better.
When are you doing it? Night or morning?
Night.
Night. Okay.
Night. What's a night thing for sure?
Okay. Do you have to shower after? Are you? Is it a sweat? Is it a sweat-inducing thing?
Well, mine is a steam.
Oh, it's a steam?
It's a steam sauna.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Which I prefer.
Yeah.
But yes, you sweat a ton. So I do like a rinse off shower. Well, if I'm going to wash my hair in the morning, then I do a rinse off shower and then shower in the morning, or
okay. Yeah, we don't have to get too into the weeds here, but
well, people might want to know.
Okay. What so it's a steam. I thought all the cheap ones were just infrared.
No, steam.
This is a steam.
Yeah.
What do? Do you pour? How's that
got like a little unit next to it, and you pour the water in.
Okay.
And then you click it on. It takes like maybe 10 minutes to like steam up and get to where it needs to be. You pop yourself in there, and my thing was I was like, I don't want to steam one because then it's going to be all wet and it's going to get like moldy or something. But it doesn't. Like I wipe it down when I'm done. Like I go in, I sit on a towel. It came with like a chair, but I just sit on the floor on a towel. And then when I'm done, I just wipe the sides down, leave the door open, and it's been like completely fine. It's not moldy or stinky or anything. So
interesting.
That is a wellness trend I can get behind. 10 out of 10. Everyone should have one.
And where'd you get it? Amazon?
Costco.
How hot does it get?
I don't know.
Like really hot? Is it like really hot?
Yeah. It gets
uncomfortably hot.
Yeah, it gets uncomfortably hot that I have to like there's like a vent on it for you to do that.
Okay.
So I like vent it.
Huh. That sounds interesting. How much was it?
170 maybe.
Oh, that's it? That's not bad at all.
Yeah, these like little tent things are not a huge investment.
Huh. Interesting. Maybe I'll get into that.
You should.
That sounds pretty cool.
And mine's like kind of like a gateway because I was like, I kind of want one like a big one that goes out in the yard and like it's like a my little wellness backyard. But I want to actually make sure that I'm going to use it before I invest in something like that. So, man, they're great.
How long have you had it? How many times do you use it? You using it every day?
If I had time, I would use it every single day. But
well, there's a lot of things I would do if I had the time. You know,
schedule-wise, that doesn't always work out, but definitely several times a week.
Okay,
as many,
awesome.
Like I do it like before I go to bed ish.
Right.
So if I am able to do that, if I'm able to take the time to do that, I will do it.
Awesome. That sounds cool. Maybe I'll get one. $170. That's not bad at all.
And
that's not bad at all. Costco.
They delivered it right to my house.
Oh, really? Costco online now. I've never done Costco online. I'm more of an because I don't know what I want from Costco. I need to go in there. Costco's going to tell me what I need. Let the shelves speak to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, as they do.
As they do. All right.
I think we're ready to move on. But I did have one thing. Something that you said earlier made me think of this. But as I was driving home today, I was on a road I never go on. So I saw this new advertisement that was on I think it was on a bus stop or something. And it was a man holding a duck. And it said, "Our concrete doesn't quack," with a duck. And in my mind, I was like, this is brilliant marketing. Because it got my attention because it's like a man with a duck. Like, attention grabbing. Love it. First start. Second, concrete is literally always going to crack. That's the thing about concrete. It always cracks.
He didn't say it wasn't going to crack.
He didn't say it wasn't going to crack.
It's not going to quack.
That's genius.
That is tricky. You know that he's insinuating and it's not going to crack.
Exactly.
But he's not saying that.
He didn't say it.
It could crack the next day and they say, "Hey, what happened? It cracked." He said, "I didn't say it wasn't going to crack. Did it quack?" If it quacked, it's you get your money back, but not for cracking. That's pretty interesting. What was the company? Do you know what it was?
Nope.
Oh.
I couldn't read. I was driving by it, so I couldn't read that. I was more focused on the quack thing, and I was like, God, that's genius. But
yeah, that's interesting. That's very interesting.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah. I
for
do.
There's not too many laughs in the concrete biz.
No.
It's
all
business
a good one over there. It's all business. Nobody's got a sense of humor there in the concrete game. But love to hear that. All right, well, moving on. So I have been what?
This has just been a real random grab bag of topics.
Has it? It doesn't seem like it's been planned out really well. It doesn't seem like we're following
a.
All right. Well, I wanted to. What I wanted to do was talk a little bit more about the book that I'm reading.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm listening to it again.
A third time.
Third time.
Third time's the charm.
Third time is, I'm picking up little bits out of it each time, and I'm really enjoying it. There's a couple things that I'm trying to be really mindful of to make these little. What I'm trying to do essentially is there's so many things in one self-help, self-improvement book that you need to do. Like there's so many different steps and techniques and strategies within each book that you read. You know what I mean? And a lot of times I'll just listen to a book or read a book, and then you get kind of a little tiny piece out of it, and then you move to the next one. And I don't have a track record of going really, really deep and implementing a lot of the strategies that are in said book. I get little bits from it, take a little bit of this, but a lot of times, especially in audiobooks, there's exercises within it that, they recommend to do to really reap the most rewards. And a lot of times, especially since I'm listening to it, I'm not going to fill something out or go to the website and download the form. So I feel like I haven't gotten the most out of all of the books that I've read. But since this one is really speaking to me, and it feels like something I really need to do, buy back my time, is go through and really try to do the exercises that are within it. So one, very specifically, is a time audit. So it's an audit of how you spend your time over the course of 2 weeks. Each 15-minute block, you write down exactly what you did. So it's just a running tab of what you do throughout the day in 15-minute slots. I guess you could do it from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep, or you can do it just during, your 8 to 5 or whatever your work day is. But that's the next step that I want to take to do that, because there's definitely so much that I'm just so in the routine of doing that I don't even realize how inefficient I am by switching tasks and going from this to that and not grouping things together. So I'm really excited to go a little bit deeper on this and start actually doing some of the exercises in here to reap some more rewards. What do you think about that? Do you think I'm going to get a lot out of a time audit?
I think that it would be incredibly eye-opening for you to do that.
Do you feel like you could just like write down a time audit for me right now? Just like are you aware of how much I hop around?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. So it's already apparent to everybody else. Now it needs to be apparent to me, and this will help with that, I suppose.
Yeah. I think you should definitely try it.
Yeah. That's the plan. That's the plan. So normally with these, one of my downfalls, one of my shortcomings is that you get so excited about, a new thing to try, or a new, just listening to a new book, and you get excited about it, and you're like, oh, this is I'm gonna get so much out of this, and it's like too much, and you really need to like go part by part and pick like one thing, because this whole strategy, it's like there's so many different aspects to it. You need to implement these things slowly. I get overwhelmed by the amount, like the grandness of the undertaking, to really get to like, they talk about, after years how they've been able to like delegate all these things and buy back their time and do all this stuff, and I get like so focused on that end goal. But you really need to start with the little stuff in the beginning and just pick like one thing, and don't get overwhelmed by it. Just pick like one thing, and then slowly start to implement into your normal course of action, and that's how it starts to snowball. And that's kind of what I'm committed to right now, is really going a little bit deeper on this specific thing, because it's spoken to me so much, and it's been eye-opening already just from listening to it 2.5 times now. Now to do a little bit of the exercises, I'm excited to really get the ball rolling here. What do you think about that?
Let's go. Right now. Start.
All right. 4 to 4:15. Rambled incessantly. Talked in circles for no apparent reason. No, I think...
Yeah, I think that doing these things as like little... like, I like the idea of even doing them as like little exercises.
Yeah.
Just for, like, knowledge gaining. Because we do get so like stuck in our routines, or stuck in our... And I know that, like, to you, it probably doesn't feel like a routine because every day is so different and you're always doing a million different things. But, like, you still kind of do fall into the same, like, daily little routines.
Yeah.
So to know, like, oh my gosh, I spent 3 hours and 15 minutes today literally kibitzing. That's it. That's all I did for 3.5 hours.
Well, kibitzin's priceless. I mean, I don't want to take away all the kibitzin time.
Well, no, you won't. But you'll just be more mindful of, like, all right, I think that's enough for now.
Yeah,
like, we're good.
Absolutely.
We're good here. I do need to do something else. So yeah, I think it would be great just to think of it like a little audit, just a little exercise.
Absolutely.
To put into motion, and then you'll know. And then when you're all better and everything's fixed and everything's perfect and you're working at maximum efficiency where you don't have a second of downtime, you can do it again and think, oh wow, I worked too much and I need to go back to my kibitzin. And then maybe you'll find a middle ground that works for you.
Exactly, yeah. See, the way you're talking about it's already making me feel overwhelmed that I'm going to go the opposite way. And I'd like to live a little bit on that efficiency side and see how that goes, and then I can slowly fall back into the kibitzin and taking it easy. Yeah, because I think there's like a place for just listening to podcasts or audiobooks or reading books that you just gain like those little things, like a little change of perspective you can pull from it. But there's other ones that you're really going to get the most out of it if you like really dive in and do the exercises and try to really pull as much out of it as you can. So like, I'm not saying like everyone should do that with every book they read or everything, because there's just not enough time. There's some books you're just going to get those little things out of, but try to be mindful more of the things that really resonate with me, and be more mindful of that, and then say, you know what, there was something there that really spoke to me. Let me listen to that again. Let me see how I can how I can adopt a little bit more of this.
Yeah.
You know, that's.
Well, keep us posted.
I'm just trying my best out here. My God.
Aren't we all?
Oh, Jesus. All right. Well, should we?
I have one more thing I want to talk about.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
This is completely random, and it's probably just me being ignorant. I'm unaware of this. But today, I was going to drop off a permit, and I was in the permit office, and this frazzled woman was in there dropping off something. She was a homeowner, and she was like, my husband sent me to do this. I don't know anything about any of this. And the lady was helping her through the process, and, you know, first you got to go to zoning, get it approved, blah, blah, blah. Then you'll take your drawings here, and we'll go over them, and blah, blah, blah. And she says, I see you have handwritten drawings. You need to sign these as the homeowner, saying that these are your drawings. And she was like, well, they're not my drawings. The contractor drew them and told me to bring them here. And she said, well, you have to sign off as the homeowner. The contractor can't do the drawings for you. You have to do them and sign them. And the lady was very confused. And I was thinking, we get architectural drawings. I know that we have like a different process, and I knew that was the process for like homeowner drawings. But why is that? Wouldn't it make way more sense for a contractor to be able to draw your drawings rather than the homeowner? The homeowner doesn't know anything. What's the thought process there?
Okay, so the thought process there is that if a homeowner doesn't know anything, then they shouldn't be doing their own plans.
But they're not asking that.
Well,
you're just taking their word for it? They know? They're just saying, I know, I'm good at this. It would make more sense that the contractor, who has experience building, in theory, would know more to do the drawings rather than a homeowner.
Yeah, well, I think that is put into place that a homeowner can do their own drawings. They can also do their own electrical and plumbing work without being licensed on their own home that they own. So it's like kind of a protection put in place that, you know, if you own your home, you're able to do the work on it yourself. You're able to do...
You can just do whatever.
You're allowed to pull an electrical permit. You're allowed to pull a plumbing permit. Whereas if you're a contractor, you have to be licensed to do that, to do any building. So it's like kind of a protection for a homeowner to give them the freedom to work on their own house. So they can, you know, normally you would have to be an architect or an engineer to submit plans. But a homeowner is allowed to do that as a protection for them. But a contractor is not legally allowed to draw the plans because they are not an engineer or an architect, at least in New Jersey. So the homeowner, and it's like one of those things, like, you know, if she had already signed them and she hands them over, you know, the lady and the building inspector, they all know, okay, this lady didn't draw these plans, the contractor probably did. But, you know, it's kind of like a gray area, like, okay, you signed this, they're homeowner plans, the homeowner needs to check a box and sign on here, you know, I certify that I personally prepared these plans. Everybody knows that they didn't, but that's just kind of the way it goes.
That makes no sense.
Why doesn't it make sense? I think it makes perfect sense. I think for some stuff, like...
they're so strict on some things, but then they're like, yeah, this lady, she can draw her own plans. This is no questions here.
Well,
that makes no sense.
Because you know...
That's like being like, oh, we're free Americans. We can do whatever. We can work on our own homes. But also, you have to follow incredibly stringent rules that there's no way a homeowner would know what code is or any of this stuff. That's dumb. This whole process is dumb.
Well, no. The thing, if the homeowner, it's supposed to be so the homeowner can actually do the work. That's what it's supposed to be. So a homeowner that actually knows how to, say, build a deck, that can do that. They're filing paperwork saying, I did these drawings, but I'm hiring this other person to build it. So then it's not even the homeowner doing the work on their own home. All right, yeah, I don't know. It's yeah, all right, yeah. In that scenario, yeah. You know, I don't know. I think just I don't know. It's because then it's like, well, what's the point of being an architect or an engineer if just a contractor can draw plans? You know what I mean? I'm not against.
I think that architects should be doing these drawings. I do not think that homeowners in any capacity should be able to do architectural drawings and submit them and be like, these are probably okay.
I mean, for a deck or something, it usually is. You know, they're doing something simple. There's charts you can just download.
An average person doesn't know how to build a deck. An average person does not know how to tie a ledger into a deck that's not going to leak. Or, like, you have to do it for a patio. Build a patio right up against a house that's not going to just pour water into your foundation. Like, those are things that, like, you should be getting someone who knows what they're doing. If you're building a patio that's away from your house and you just want to build it on your own, okay, sure. If you're building, like, a sail shade structure, I guess, sure. But if you're building, like, a deck or something where it's actually, like, you could do some damage with that. I feel like that's weird to me that, like, a homeowner can just go and be like, I want to build this pretty picture, and they're like, sick, okay, cool, sign right here.
Well, why wouldn't they? This is
so
America.
difficult.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the government's way of trying to protect the consumer, to say everybody needs to be licensed. So you need to, if you're a plumber or an electrician, you got to go through training. You got to get, a certain amount of hours working under somebody. You got to pass a test to get your license. If you're an architect or engineer, you got to go to school or whatever and take a test and do all this stuff. If you're a builder, you almost don't have to do anything for some reason. Just have to prove that you have insurance and get your license. And I guess it's a protection put in place to, they want to protect the consumers. So you got to get a license. But if you're a homeowner, you should be able to do work on your own home. Because then it's just a government shakedown is what it would be.
Yeah, but I feel so, like, you build your own deck. You don't know what you're doing. It's terribly built. Blah blah blah. It's pouring water into your foundation. Whatever. You go to sell the house. There's no problem there. Like, you're not getting some sort of disclosure that this was like a homeowner special, or like a fully architectural. I don't like it. But whatever. We can move on. Okay. I just had a question about that because I in my head I knew that was like the process, but then when the lady was standing there telling me, she's like, I don't know anything, and I was like, well,
yeah, and then you're like, hey, lady, you drew these.
Yeah,
come on, are you picking up on this? Yeah. Like, what's wrong with you, lady? Yeah, so all right, well, whatever.
Okay. Anyway, should we get to our trivia?
Let's get into the trivia. It's gonna be exciting. There you go. All right, I feel like it's not too loud this time.
Very specific with this.
Oh yeah, where are we at with getting this on my?
I'll email it.
I got a fader.
I just have an internet fader.
Internet faders are no good.
All right, so I'm up. Last week we tied, but I'm still up.
All right. So you want me to start asking the questions here?
Yep, I'm gonna ask the questions here.
I'm the one asking the questions here. Shut up. Sorry. All right, so driving home today, I passed a place that used to be a store called Bill Wall Supply. I remember going there with my father many, many years ago.
Oh, bless it.
Oh, bless it. So many, not that many memories there, but I remember it was a different store. Now it is an SRS Distribution, which was acquired by Home Depot last year. And SRS Distribution was bought by Home Depot for more than $15 billion. True or false?
I remember it was an exorbitant amount of money. More?
SRS Distribution was bought by Home Depot for more than $15 billion. True or false?
I'm going to go true.
You're right!
Yay!
True!
Good job!
All right, yeah. It was $18 billion.
Okay, yeah.
$18 billion.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, I thought that was a fun question because we've talked about it on the podcast before. So it was a little bit of a memory test for you. And, just, hey, be aware. So Home Depot, everybody's trying to, monopolize this construction world. So it's interesting. It's interesting stuff to keep your eye on.
I also drove by that SRS today, and I was surprised on their logo. It still says like SRS really big, and then this like tiny little Home Depot in the corner. I was surprised they didn't like fully brand it Home Depot.
Yeah, I think they just put up the sign today.
Oh, maybe that's why I just noticed it today.
Yeah, same. All right. Good job. 1 for 1 so far.
All right. So, in the United States, there are two buildings that claim to be the tallest load-bearing brick buildings.
Okay.
Two claim it.
Well, which one is it?
There's one in Chicago, Illinois, and the other one is in Billings, Montana. Which one is actually, per foot, the tallest one? The one in Billings, or true or false, it's in Billings, Montana. Let's go with that.
Which one is the tallest per foot? What do you mean the tallest per foot?
Well, they
I mean-
both claim to be like they're both claiming to. They're different heights. One is actually the tallest, but they both claim to be the tallest. One is in Chicago. One is in Billings, Montana. So let's say Billings, Montana. Is that the one? True or false?
True.
Correct. It is.
All right. Those Montanans, everything's bigger in Montana.
Yeah.
Crazy.
The one in Chicago is like I think it's like an office building, but the Billings,
Okay.
Montana one, the one that is the tallest technically, is a DoubleTree
Hotel?
hotel.
Oh, wow. Look at
thought
that.
that
And what
was
is it?
kinda
The tallest structural brick building?
Yeah.
How
Load
tall is it? Does it say?
245 feet.
Okay.
The other one's 215 feet. So I was like, they both claim it, but like one is technically taller.
You can't
So.
take anything at face value anymore. Everyone's lying.
Well, you got it right. Congratulations.
All right. There you go.
On fire!
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Max. All right, my turn to ask you a question now.
Yes.
Round 2. Okay. Are you familiar with a little thing called PVC? Polyvinyl chloride.
Yes. Sure am, yeah.
Well, PVC, polyvinyl chloride.
I hate
was-
it. Anthony loves it.
I hate it too. I hate it too. PVC was first synthesized in what year?
Ooh, okay.
1973, 1872, 1916, or 1947?
1916.
Wrong.
Dang it.
1872.
Ah,
Can
okay.
you believe it? 1872.
I knew it was old. I knew it would be old.
Yeah. Very, very interesting.
That is interesting.
I had no idea it was that old. But yeah.
Oh, tell the old
Polyvinyl
time.
chloride, Yeah. I hate it. I hate that stuff.
God, I hate it.
It's just
It
the
gets
worst.
everywhere. The worst is in the summer when it's like
Oh, it's-
you're sweaty and it's getting everywhere and it's like stuck to you and it's like somehow sandpaper.
expands and contracts so much too. I'm just not a PVC guy.
Yeah.
You
I
got
don't
your
like
PVC
working with
guys
it.
and you got your not PVC guys.
Yeah.
I'm not a PVC guy, so
Yeah.
hey, what can I say? All right.
Okay.
Good try.
Which of the following methods is the most commonly used for placing concrete underwater in large-scale construction projects? For example, building a bridge or a tunnel, which is the most commonly used way of placing concrete. A. Free fall. B. Pumped tremie. C. Precast concrete units. Or D. Bagged concrete placement.
It can't be bagged concrete placement. They can't use. Do you think
they?
they're buying? What are they buying out the stock at Lowe's? Like, oh yeah, I need.
Well, I don't think it's like bagged like that. I think it's like, when they do like sand, when they build like
Oh,
sand
like
walls or
one-ton.
whatever, where it's
Yeah.
like, where they're just using that as like a way of moving it around, kind of.
If you say it's that, I'm gonna be so pissed. I'm gonna call you a liar. All right. So what were the others? Free fall. That's probably how I would do it. Free fall. Precast. I don't think so, but could be for underwater. I'm gonna say precast.
That is correct.
Hey, there you go. It seems like it would be the easiest.
Yeah.
Free fall seems like it'd be the most fun, and the rest, definitely not bags. Imagine going to Lowe's and saying, "Yeah, can you load me up a truck? I need 6.5 million bags." 60s or 80s? 80s. You'd
Well,
be
it is a
surprised though.
method-
Somebody would be able to carry all of those bags in like a Nissan Frontier. It's amazing what people can do at these stores. They're like, oh, just throw a whole pallet concrete, 6,000 pounds or whatever. Just throw it on the back of my Honda Accord. Fine.
All right.
Crazy world.
What do you got
All
next?
right. All right. My turn. My
Yeah.
turn to ask you. Okay.
I gotta get my hair cut. Let's get on this.
Oh, all right. I was gonna say you need.
I know. I'm gonna go black blonde. It's a big day for me.
Oh wow, I'm actually
Yeah.
getting mine cut tomorrow. So
Nice.
yeah. Where are you going? You go to the same person as me?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right.
Different
yeah.
lady.
Neither here nor there. All right. We were talking about this a little bit today. True Value store. True Value.
We were talking about this today. Okay.
True Value was bought. Who were they bought by?
Great question.
Thank you so much.
True value. I feel like it's like the word that's coming to mind is Stanley, but I know that that's not it. But I feel like it's somebody like that.
Got anything?
I don't know.
She doesn't know. She doesn't know. Are you giving up?
It was bought by Ace.
No, but that's a good guess. That is a pretty good guess. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Exactly.
It was not there.
Okay.
Do It Best.
Oh.
Do It Best. So they're another,
Okay.
basically same as True Value. You got your local
Do It
hardware
Best.
stores.
True value, Ace. I assume they're all the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what we got. It was bought in 2022 for $153 million after filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So
Did I get all the questions wrong?
no, you got the first one right.
Oh, okay.
All right,
So you can't lose, but you want your last question anyway?
Well, no, I got the first one wrong, didn't I?
No, you
No,
got
I
the
got
first one right.
right. Yeah, okay. All right, yeah. What do
See
we
if you
got?
can go 3
What
for
do we
3.
got?
This is something we also talked about.
All right.
Railroad ties.
Yep.
Know them, love them.
Yeah. They're the best.
Utility poles.
Gotta love
They're both treated with the same thing. What are they treated with?
Creosote.
Correct.
Yep. You can't get me. I'm the
You said
lumber
you
king.
You said you didn't know what it was
Lumber
last week, so
King!
I thought maybe you... I said it was creosote, and then you said you didn't know what it was, so I didn't know if you'd remember. But they're both treated with creosote, although for some reason utility poles, that's kind of falling out of favor. They're starting to treat those with something else. And they don't treat them... Why don't they treat residential stuff with creosote, Sean?
Because it is poisonous.
Exactly. It's carcinogen.
Yeah. Yep. So,
All right, well, congratulations on your
all right.
win.
Well, yeah,
Great
3 for
showing this
3.
week. My
Look
goodness.
at that. I'm back. I'm back like I never left. And I ain't going nowhere. I'm
Well,
here.
now we are tied overall, so.
Oh, really?
Great
Wow.
job.
This is amazing. Well, you know what? Thank you so much for this valuable conversation today, Catherine. And I think what I'm pulling out of this is that it's a time to just go a little deeper on everything, on your learning, on the experience that you give your clients, on the way that you communicate with people, the whole thing. Everything is so surface level. We need to stop that. Nobody talks about anything anymore.
Do you feel like with this podcast we give an accurate representation of who we are, both who we are as people? Do you think we're genuinely, authentically ourselves on this podcast?
I think so.
Or do you think that's something we can work on as well?
I mean, I think you can always work on it. I
Okay.
think we're pretty transparent and pretty real about it.
Okay.
I don't know. What do you think? Why? You don't think we are?
Well, no, I just hadn't really thought of it in that perspective until right now. So I was just thinking about it.
You could probably work on it, but I think I'm pretty real. I'm just, yeah. No, I think we both are.
Okay, yeah.
You know. Something
Yeah,
to
I'd say
think about.
so.
Something to think about.
Something about. Okay.
So yeah, that's the theme of this week. A little deeper, you know. Stop trying to go so wide.
Connect
Let's go
with
a little
somebody.
deeper. Connect with somebody, my God. Connect with a stranger. Go out in the world and connect with the next stranger you see. And just look them in the eyes and say, I love you.
All right, we're rambling.
Where did people go? Where did humanity go?
All right.
All right,
Say the
anyway,
send
yeah,
off.
we're rambling. Okay, all right, well, that's it for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, this has been the Hardworking Happy Hour.
See you next week.